Welcoming everyone to HRA Division 1 here at the infamous Saudi Arabia, the street track that causes a lot of issues for drivers, testing everyone to their ability. And tonight we have a full grid on the season opener, which will promise to be a spectacle. So for the spectators, get your feet up, have a drink by your side, and prepare for some good racing. Mad Mark, Sims, I don't know what I call you, Sims, A5, Dom, Snake, all here in the chat ready. Prepare for red flag, the carnage, and here we are, the full grid. Let's get the track map open and ready. Lap data, and that's all we'll have for now. But who is going to be the first man out the blocks to set the time? Some movement there from the Alpha Tauri garage. Now Alfa Romeo's out as well. Everyone's piling up the box. Up the Maz. You know it. You know it. Right, let's get on board with one of the Alpha Tauris. We don't know who it is just yet. It's not Mad Mark. It looks like it will be Dom. Dom leading the way. We'll turn down the volume a little bit so it's not too loud. And we will share the stream within the Discord. Let all the people know. That we are now live. Vision 1 Jeddah. I don't know what it is. I love racing at, like, watching the tracks at midnight. It's so much better. So much better. Right. As we're approaching the final corner for Dom. Is that hammer time behind him? Here it is. Slows down a little bit just to give himself a bit of breathing space. But as we go on board with Dom, he'll be the first man to cross the line. Got a bit of traffic coming up ahead of him. A bit of getting as much power as he can out of the lower gears. That updated corner there as well. One of the most noticeable changes, and hammer time is out. Hammer time is out of the session. If we can go on board with Ben Lane. He's just gone straight into the wall. He's lost it. And the first driver has bit the dust so early on. But we carry on with Dom, who has got a bit of clear area for now. He's got a Aston Martin and Alpine just up ahead. And we've got another retiree. Another... Oh, we've missed it. Damn. Right where hammer time crashed out, we've had another one bite the dust in the exact same place. Tyre warm-up has crucified two drivers for not getting the optimal temperatures in. This is not the start hammer time or Harry wanted. And Dom sets a respectable 128.6. Good time to get up on there at the moment. Ben Lane tops the timing board with a 127.9. Great lap from Ben. So we get on board with Snake, last season's pole sitter. And he can't quite make it. And Apollo, straight out of the blocks on the medium tyre. What? A 127.1. Wow, wow, wow. What a lap. What a lap. Ben just off the track there to let people go through. But what a lap from the guy. Rolls up there as well, sneaking in a 128.4. The newly promoted from Division 2 after winning it last season. I think the Alpha Tower is done. Coming around the final corner it is. And I got George Plaster coming around the final corner. One of the dark horses of the season and a man to keep an eye on. And it's going to be a 126.5. 6/10 quicker than the nearest rival. But Apollo setting his time on the medium tyre, opting to save his soft tyre, and Kuski coming in with a 127.162. Beats Apollo as well, as you would expect on the soft tyre. And there's a bit of traffic here going around the final corner. I don't know if these guys were in the way of the Ferrari. Or is that Ferrari coming in? I think the Ferrari's deciding to pit now. Yep. So much to try and keep track of, guys. I do apologise if I am missing some of the action. And Hoodie sets a respectable time of a 127.0. Slots himself second place for now, splitting the two Alpines. Mr. Zoom coming in here to support the Alpha Tauris after his transfer to the team from Mercedes. And we currently have Maz out on his outlap as well as Thomas, the two Mercedes drivers. If we've got anyone starting a lap going around the final corner, who is that? Is that one of the Alpines? There's the two Alpines just going around the final corner. Yeah, Apollo on the softs I think is going to be a very good contender for slapping it on pole, I can't lie. As we go on board with Thomas, who's started his lap now. He's opted to go for the medium tyre strategy as well, but loses the rear a little bit on the exit of turn 2. He's got Red Bull behind him here. I don't know if that's Hoodie. No, it looks like it's Apollo. I've just gone the longest way possible. And Apollo is on the softs here, but he's on his outlap. So one to watch after Thomas there, I think. Wheel just narrowly touches the ball up there. I think might be a midfieldish time at the moment on these mediums, but opting to try and save a set of softs for the race. It's not a bad shout. But just a reminder to everybody out there watching at the moment, safety cars is on reduced, and he sets a 128.7, which puts him 12th at the moment. A little bit of pace to try and pick up there. Well, we've got Maz on a lap at the moment. We know Apollo's just started a timed lap. We will move to him momentarily. as I'm very intrigued to see how close he can put it next to George. And that is Maz slapping it P2 at the moment. Decent little time there, but it's so close. The competition this year has intensified, and that is a very close gap between P2, P3, P4, P5 at the moment, but Apollo set to improve his time now as we got on board with newly joined Red Bull driver. Commentated for us all last season and sets a purple middle sector with half a second quicker so far this lap. It's very close to being George's time at the moment. Tries to maximise as every little bit of slipstream there from the Mercedes driver coming in. And Apollo crosses the line with a 126.516. Wow, look how close that is, bro. Wow. 1/1300th of a second away from P1. That is how close the margins are this season. Good evening, Andreas. How are you, my friend? So close. And Introntic starting his new lap now. We've got Snake retiring as well on track. I think that might have been an issue there for him. Must have missed that one. We've got Flexi going 2 tenths quicker on his lap. Slots in next to his teammate with a 127.7. No, it's short, bro. It's short qualifying. It always puts Q1. Ooh, who's that? Someone's just gone quicker into. It was Ash. Ash has just put himself into the top 10, I believe. With a 128.0. LFC coming out for another lap. Let's get on board with Iron Man, who's the second up on his time at the moment. Doesn't really attack the apex as much as he really should. But gets a decent enough exit, and Ben Lane's retired from the session in the pits. A 128.2 for Iron Land slots him P12, sorry. Respectable lap for the newly promoted Division 2 driver who is reserving for his team this evening. And Flexi looking to start his lap again after invalidating. Or is he boxing this lap? It looks like he might be boxing. Ash on a lap here. Oh, he takes that very well, but it's a shame he's on an invalidated lap. It's a shame. And LFC about to start his new time after coming out the pits. Let's just double check with Danny Cosmic a moment. He is on an in lap. Let's go back on board with LFC. His transfer from McLaren in the open season to Alfa Romeo fancies a new challenge away from his friend Raven, who has dropped down to Division 2 this season. Oh, invalidates there. Those new curbs in Sector 1 are very lethal and very easy to invalidate now. Very brutal. Very brutal. Got Cold Power on a lap here. Has a bit of sickness at the moment, but he's battling through to carry on racing here. Half a second up on his last lap in Sector 1. Putting him into the 128s at the moment. Could still find more time. as the track evolves throughout the session. A little bit unstable there for the rear, but keeps it going. It's up by 1.2 seconds now. And that would roughly put him about a 128.2 at the moment. So he's got to find an extra bit of time in this final sector to get himself up into the top 10. Takes it nice and easy, maximises as much as he dares out of gear 3. Finding that extra bit of traction and gets himself a 127.6 up into the top 8 and splits the Ferraris. Great lap there from Carl. And we've got Thomas here on a new lap, starting on the softs now. Did his first lap on the mediums, just to get a feel for the track. We've got a car up ahead who's weaving all over the place. Didn't really know which way to go. One of the Red Bulls. I think that was Hoodie. But Thomas, one of the new guys to the league, joining in the mid-season transfer. 1.4 seconds up on his lap at the moment. He might find himself in the same, sort of similar position to Cole Power. Might slide himself into the P5 section here. I'm predicting. But the top 6 all on out laps now, ready to slot in their last lap. But everyone is out on the grid apart from Intrinsic. And Thomas puts himself P5 as I predicted. Oh my word. Good lap though. Very tidy. As we go on board with Hoodie, who is started his lap now. Apollo coming around the final corner as well, followed by the 2 Alpines. Nope. That must have been a Williams. Yeah, it's a Williams drivers, but we'll go back on board with Hoodie. Where are you? Here we go. See if Hoodie can find some time in sector 1. Yeah, he can. He finds just over a 10th, but pulls out of his lap. Well, found time, but I think he's going to go again. I think he's avoided his lap and he wants to go again. He wants to be one of the last few to put a lap in, which is rather interesting. Apollo has gone fastest in sector 1 there. Well, setting the purple sector 1. 1800th of a second up. Pushing the limits here. He's got to try and find every little bit of ounce of performance out of that Red Bull to put it on pole. He knows he's got stiff competition here from George. It's a purple sector 2. The guy is cracked, mate. You're not wrong, Kai. You are not wrong, sir. Final corner, nice and tidy. Maximises as much apex. Getting so much power out of that exit. And he comes across the line up 1/10 faster with a 126.3. All eyes go to George. Can George improve his time now? He sets a purple sector 2, 3/10 up on his time. Oh, if this is how he stands here at the moment, he's just got to keep it perfect on the last corner, and he will surely put himself on pole position. Round the final corner he goes, hits the final corner perfectly, and the exit was so smooth. And here we go, a 126.2 puts him on provisional pole at the moment, and Maz could not go any quicker. He invalidated through his lap. And that puts him P4 at the moment. Apollo can't respond. Kuski puts himself P3. Can Hoodie improve here? We got Ferrari up ahead of him on a lap as well. Keep an eye on the timing board. The Ferrari could go quicker. Yes, he does. He goes P4. Hoodie goes P4 and knocks Intrinsic down to P5. Wow, wow, wow. Have we got any of the drivers on a lap here? We've just got Iron Lan crawling round. I think he's run out of fuel here, but wow, 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 what a session. George, Apollo, Kuski. Oh. The Alpines looking strong this session. The Alpines are definitely looking strong. Qualifying looking good. Quickly get a picture of that just in case issues arise and there's needed to be a George's name in Discord is George Plaster. Same as his EA on here. There you go, boys. What a lineup that is. Promises to be a very good race, I must admit. Wow. I'll see if I can try and get a interview with George whilst we have the 5-minute break. Everyone go get your drinks, replenish yourself, because we're gonna have a great race here. Do not go anywhere. Why is it disconnected here? Right. See if we can get an interview with George. Let's see if he can get into that paddock chat for a moment. I don't think he wants to get in. Oh, he's in. So, can I minimize that a second? Let's open that up. And hello. How are you, sir? How are you, mate? How was that qualifying session for you, mate? That was a close one with you and Apollo. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you can try and build that gap from Sector 1. You know, you'll have the strongest Sector 1 times compared to everybody else, but hopefully you can hold out, mate. But that was a great qualifying to watch you and Apollo go at it together. To be honest, when I seen his time on the medium tyres, I thought it was going to be in for a tough one. But your time, you're really going to go give each other a good race. I can see it coming. Any thoughts on strategy here? Is it going to be a one-stop for you or a two-stop? All right. Well, that's it. That's it, isn't it? Like it's always a tough one. You can't always control the safety cars. They are on reduced today. So, but yeah, that's it. Yeah. Anything is bound to happen, mate. But oh yeah, I hope it's a. Oh fuck! What? Hold on a moment, George. Apparently people can't hear. This is tanked my whole interview now. 1 second, mate. 1 second. Bear with me. Let's find the. Oh, the pain. Speak again for me.
Hello.
And try again.
Hello.
There we go. Lovely.
Yeah.
We have you now. Right. That's fucking annoyed me, man. Of course, updates fuck up my PC.
Just a rehearsal, you know.
Yeah, just a research. Yeah, we're gonna iron out the bugs, aren't we? We're gonna iron them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, to sum up, guys, what George was just saying is Sector 1 times are looking very strong. Got a bit more downforce compared to the likes of Apollo, who seems to have a bit more straight line speed. But he's looking to hopefully try and go for the one stop. But all based on safety cars and whatever happens out on track. But yeah, man. Yeah, I hope it all goes well for you, buddy. You know, try and start off the new season in style.
Yeah, hopefully. So,
but who knows? This could be the new rivalry of the season 7. Last year we had Maz and Kush. This season it could be George and Apollo. So
no, yeah,
you know,
good to watch.
it'll be good for the neutral, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys put on a good show for us all.
Yep, I'll make sure to.
All right, mate. I'll let you get back to focusing on your race and have a good one, mate.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks.
And there we go, guys. Sorry about that. We had a bit of technical difficulties there with getting his voice heard. My PC had an update and changed all my settings from Discord. Fucking technology, eh? But just a quick rundown of what the session was like. We've got George on pole, Apollo P2, Kusky P3, Hoodie P4, Intrinsic P5, sorry, Maz P6, Thomas P7, Danny Cosmic P8, Flexi P9, Cole P10, Rules P11, LFC P12, Ben Lane P13, Ash 14, Snake 15, Ironland P16, Dom P17, Mad Mark P18, Hammer Time and Harry Barton not being able to set a lap and finish 19 and 20. Hopefully everybody can keep it clean on the first lap. Get a feel for it in the formation. And we can have a good clean session, we hope. But we will quickly run over to Division 1 just to see how everybody's getting on. How long have we been? It's been a while? How long have we been waiting for? I'm not too sure how long we've actually been waiting, but I think Iron is running it. Let's see if we get a reply. Let's go. Hopefully the guys will ready up momentarily. I keep forgetting that I don't think you can see the timer of when we get going anymore. Yeah, look, it's starting to tick down. As I quickly glance over to the timing board. Yep, we have got a live timing board here. And everybody is looking good. Right as they should be. The majority on the mediums by the looks of it. Let's have a look at that tire strategy for everybody. I'll just quickly put a reminder out to everybody. Keep it clean. Races aren't done on lap 1. We shouldn't. Let's have a good race. Whew. All right then, boys. Here we go. Under the lights in Saudi Arabia. George leading the way under the formation lap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars opting for a different strategy here. Everybody thinking the mediums are the right way to go here. But Kuski, Rules, Dom and Harry all on the softs and Mad Mark on the hards, opting to play the long game here and hoping that there might be potentially a safety car for him to keep track position and not have to box. Not a bad shout here as well on Jeddah. It can often cause safety cars. It's so easy to lose a wing, especially when people are trying to find a bit of space and go maybe too wide around the corner. But here we go, guys. We'll put the tyres away and we'll just keep the intervals up for now as we form up. Let's go to the back of the grid and see where the last few guys are. And Harry slowly coming to his grid box. Got Mad Mark just ahead of him. Just delaying it a little bit. And here we go. Everybody's formed up. We've got the red lights coming on now. We've got 5 red lights. And it's lights out. Bit of desync. And away we go. Kuski gets away well. And Apollo comes across to cover him off. Going into turn 1 there with a little bit carnage. One of the Ferraris are going around and the Red Bulls go around as well from Hoodie. Other than that, it's quite clean. Trying to keep an eye on everything. It's a bit tough. So much action. People trying not to lose position. But oh my god, there's a few cars going around here. So we got Ben Lane and Ash off there. Cole getting caught up in some of that as well. But so far, nobody's got any damage, I don't believe. And Apollo gets back ahead of Kuski there. And George as well. But George following quite close behind here. He's got to try and unleash his teammate out there on the softs. Try and put those soft tyres to good use. But a bit of a gap forming up here. But Thomas, wow, what a start. He was just behind his teammate up in P7. But has jumped a few places there. And too wide there going through that left-hander. Oh my word. These guys going absolutely all out here. So early on. 3 wide coming into the final corner. Oh my word. And Maz just getting ahead of Rules down the straight. He might have used a little bit of ERS there. But gets ahead of that little pack. And he needs to try and break away here and catch back up to his teammate. Alright, let's just get on some of the position changes as we've completed lap 1. Harry up 7 places. Flexi down 9. Down 10 now. A few guys into the pits here. LFC, Flexi, and Ash as well. All these guys did get caught up. I wasn't too sure if they did get any damage or not, but Ash putting on a new wing and some hard tyres. These guys that have just pitted. Flexi and Ash for the hards. LFC for some softs. Very interesting to see. But two of them opting to try and go long. To try and make our way back up the grid and try and keep an eye on these timing boards here because everyone's so close. It's very difficult to try and keep an eye on one particular battle. But let's have a look on the front 3 at the moment. As we got Introntic looking very close with Snake here, going side by side. Who's later on the brakes? Snake goes later on the brakes. Has to use the runoff road, and so does that. Has there. And that's Dom? Is that Dom with damage? He's found himself with no front wing here. And he has to pit now. I thought that was a retiree. Well, Apollo's setting the fastest lap of the race so far with a 131.1. Both the Alpines sticking close with Apollo here, but Kuski not getting them softs up to the temperature or in the area where he needs them to be. He's got to try and make them work and get ahead of his teammate here and put the pressure on Apollo. The two Mercedes working their way up the grid together. Maz slowly but surely pulling away from Rules, but still within that DRS now. And we've got 2 more people in the pits, and that is Flexi. We knew Dom was going to be one of them. But Flexi has pitted again. He pitted last lap. He must not have changed his wing last lap. And he's had to pit again, and he's stuck to the soft tyres. But Snake having a bit of an issue there. He dropped a few places. I don't know if he had to pit as well. I don't remember seeing that one. But again, we'll try and continue on and try and keep up with everything that is going on. Hammer time. Having a bit of a better start to this race compared to his qualifying. He did... no, we'll keep that disabled for now. He did qualify towards the back of the grid. He's up 10 places. Kuski now working them soft tyres. It's took him a few laps to get him up to temperature, but he's now cooking them. Very nice. And we've got Hoodie pitting here. Did he get some damage? Did we see a new front wing going onto that car? No, no new front wing. He just opts to change the mediums to the hards. Whether that's an error on his half by not changing the setting. Not too sure there. But some interesting bits there. But Apollo's got caught by George and Kuski. Was there an issue by Apollo? How are we missing so much here? Let's get that graphic off because we need to have the least amount of bits on screen as possible. But Apollo trying to put the beans back on it now to try and catch up to these two Alpines. He won't be happy with himself, and he'll be battling with his inner demons to try and get himself back up there. Kuski having a little look up the inside on his teammate, but opts to stay behind and follow on using the DRS now. And Rules has dropped way off here with Maz. Maz and Thomas switching places here down the main straight. We're on the final corner, and here we go. Maz and Thomas have caught right back up to these guys, who are working together to try and keep Apollo behind. But Apollo coming up the inside of Kuski here. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does. He puts the pressure on Kuski. But Apollo making it work around the outside on the exit of turn 2 and gets the move done on Kuski, and is now ahead of the Alpine. Harry Barton has retired. Was that on track? And we do have a full safety car here. Where was that crash? Oh, right there. Wow, wow, wow. We now have a safety car, and this race has been neutralised for the time being. Good racing so far. It will give me an opportunity to catch up with what's happened so far, and it will give people on the soft tyres an opportunity to get a free pit stop. So this is the likes of Kuski, Rules, Hammer Time, allowing them to get that free early pit stop now. Well, it's not really a free one, but it's a cheaper pit stop compared to the usual one. Not losing as much time. So this will make things interesting here in the latter stages, but it may have to force Kuski into a 2-stop. Whether he's going to try and make the softs last and then go into the hards or mediums is a bit of a tough one to understand or know. Can ask it in the post-race, but for now, George Pastor leading. Apollo jumps into the pits. That is one I did not expect, unless he's got an issue with a front wing. Yeah, he does. He does have an issue with a front wing, and he's getting that front wing changed. That'll cost him in the pits there, and he'll lose a few places here. But goes on to the softs, wants to attack here and work back some places. Maz did pit as well. Went for the hard tyre. He wants to go long here. Not a bad shout in case there's another safety car down the line. But Iron Lan finding himself up into P3. Not needing to pit, but everyone around him pitting and going long on these hard tyres and maybe trying to make it to the end. Now, would that be the craziest strategy you see today? I don't think the mediums will quite go the distance at this point. Jeddah is a tyre killer, and I don't think the mediums will last, so I would imagine that there might be another stop, or he's banking on another safety car here. Likewise with Cole and Apollo, both going for the soft tyre. Huddy as well, noticeably going for the medium tyre again. He did pit early on for the hards and then pitted again. But good to see this race being neutralised and bringing the gap closer together everywhere. That will be good to see. Since this is the new season, there are no standings to show or anything at the moment, but it is quite interesting to see how it all looks at the moment. Both the Alpines still holding P1 and P2. I'm pretty surprised, well, I'm very surprised that Kuski did not pit under the safety car. And I think that might come back to hurt him a little bit. Ben Lane decides to box now. And that might hurt him a little bit here. Dom has retired. Coming around the final corner. See if we can try and get an onboard here. The car's already been cleared already. But Dom retired around the final corner. He must have just lost it here. And just went straight into the wall. Very, 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 very interesting. Very unlike Dom as well. As we go on board with the front runners, you'd imagine that the safety car will be in this lap. Flexi should catch up to the back of the pack by the middle sector, I would hope. And we can get some racing back in again. Skill issue. STFU. I'll allow it, mate. I'll allow it. It's fine. Snake's retired. What? Guys, what is happening? Snake is Snake in the wall. Safety car is in his lap with car crashed on track, but Snake is out. What is happening? Was there a bit of a... I wonder what happened there. I'll get into the Division 1 chat in case Snake types, but I'll see if we can try and get a response. And we're gone. Sorry guys, I do apologise there by missing that. But Kuski ahead of his teammate here, but no, George gets the switch back on his teammate, leaving him under pressure from Iron Land. Coming up into turn 3, he's got Maz all over the back of Iron Land, who gives him a little tap and he's out. Oh, Maz clips the littlest bit of Iron Land and he's out. Oh, that is pain, and we've got our second safety car of the race. It's so unfortunate. There was no intention there of any malicious play from Maz. It's just so unlucky. My heart goes out to Iron Landman. So unlucky. But safety car number 2. And you'd imagine that Kuski will pit this lap. Flexi already on 3-stop strategy. It's crazy. I was hoping that would have had a red flag, to be honest. Like, red flags are on standard and safety car is on reduced. Like, I was hoping that we would have got some red flag action here on this track. But Mad Mark getting himself up 12 places, Hamilton up by 11 places, and Kuski staying out again. Is Kuski throwing this race right now, or is he trying to keep out on these soft tyres? And he's being carried to being able to go out onto the mediums later on. But we've got Apollo and Hammer Time having to pit here. Hammer Time for a new wing. Apollo onto some fresh tyres here. No new wing. And it's onto the hards. And you have to imagine it to the end. I do feel for Maz, man. He is in a group chat with Apollo and Iron Lamb and a few others. Hoodie, Ben, Ash, all in the same chat at the moment. I may go pop it in there and get some mid-race thoughts. Yeah, why not? Let's go and jump in there and get some mid-race thoughts while we're under the safety car.
It is worries. I would be free.
Hello, gents.
I've got permanent no force feedback. This is great.
How are we doing, boys? I thought I'd come in here while we're under a safety car.
It's actually been quite calm despite the actual race, to be fair, mate.
It's been
Apollo just admitted he doesn't like when I race here.
Other than the fact I nearly killed Iron, nearly killed Maz, and oh fuck, I've still got no force feedback.
You killed Iron. I thought he might have. Oh, Iron's left as well. Oh yeah, Iron's out, isn't it?
Has it retired me from the session when I left?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, you're fucking joking.
You have
It says
retired from
left,
the
yeah.
session. You have retired.
Oh, thank God. You don't do that to me.
You have retired.
Oh, you've retired.
You've retired, mate.
Your car is
Oh my God.
I think it did this to Ironman in Division 2 midweek. He left to try and sort out his wheel, and it retired him.
Mediums lasted 15 laps on the dead, but they did no more
Alright,
than they said.
That's unfortunate, man. Did you try and plug in the wheel as well?
Yeah,
There is a
I unplugged
DQ
it, plugged
Apollo.
it back in. I did all the things I can. No, I just left.
That's so annoying.
Apollo, there is
Yeah.
the
Yeah, because I left to try and sort out my wheel and it retired my car.
dude. That's exactly what happened to me.
I can see
Alice
Alice is going to go now.
That happened to me.
George Blast is going to go medium soft, and he's going to be a fucking absolute.
This game.
Yeah.
I see how this is going to go. I see George winning this by about 15 seconds.
Oh, mate, Cusco is like.
He was
He's,
trying to dirty with me.
Who was George?
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm going to submit a clip for moving under braking at 1 because there was a car and a half width and it quickly closed to half a car width. But thankfully I was already there, so
Interesting.
Was that on the restart?
that was. I'm going to end my stream now, go through and find it and clip it because.
Was that under the restart?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate, mate. What's happened?
I think I was on
Yeah.
board with that on the restart, from your perspective. So just keep an eye on the stream as well afterwards if you need another angle.
Yeah, cheers.
Anybody got
But
penalty by any chance? Free I don't know.
I missed what happened with Iron, or I couldn't really see what happened with Iron. From the angle that I've seen, the spectator cameras, it looked like Maz might have touched him in the back. I'm not sure.
Oh, we got a couple
I
of
hit
fresh
Mazen.
Oh right, so
Yeah,
it was like a domino effect.
Yeah, it was.
All right, okay. I'm gonna leave anyway and carry on with the commentary. I just thought I'd jump in here while we're on the safety car.
I'll see you
Yeah,
there,
mate.
man.
I'll catch us afterwards.
Cheers, man. Cheers, boys.
Might as well jump back in.
Have a good race. Make us proud.
Right, here we go, boys. Safety car is in this lap, and we now have George leading the way. When will he go? Let's get the telemetry up, just to keep an eye on when the leading driver does go. His foot is down, and they are going. Has anybody got caught up by this? I don't quite think so just yet. Maz is getting some heat into his tyres by getting a few weaves in, but it's all looking very clean so far. And the Aston Martin of Danny Cosmic getting squeezed into the wall there by Mad Mark. Was that borderline not leaving enough space for the car around the outside? Who'll know, but if Danny wants to put a clip in afterwards, he'll have to provide his onboard. But we'll stick with Ash here and we'll follow up behind this little group here, battling for the mid pack as they've all dropped off from the front three. We've got a yellow flag. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Can't really see or understand what it was for there, but Flexi has dropped right back. He must have picked it up right at the end. So we go further up the group here, go on board with Danny. And Mad Mark seeming to have an issue there. He might have got some wing damage, or he's just letting him go through after having that issue. But let's Hoodie go through after running off wide. And Hammer Time is out! After hitting the wall, and we've got a third safety car, man. Oh, Mad Mark. I don't know if that was Mad Mark tangling with Hammer Time. That's unfortunate. As we've got another safety car, A5 Apollo had lost force feedback in his wheel and tried to leave the game and come back in, but the game had retired him. That's so unfortunate, Kev. What happened, brother? Can you provide what happened? Kuski into the pits here. Onto some softs again. Is that his first pit? Kuski, that's his first stop, so he's going to have to pit again. I'm not too sure about that strategy, to be honest. Whether he's banking on another safety car, I don't know. Hopefully these guys can catch up to the back of the car and we can get the safety car in this lap, as that feature on this game has been sorted. You no longer have to sit behind the safety car for another lap after catching up. Apollo lost force feedback, tried to leave to rejoin again, and the game retired him. It did the exact same with Ironman in Div 2 midweek, so that's a bug that they're going to have to look at. I think Marky got unsettled on the track re-entry and it made Ash have to switch lines and then made me contact. I was unfortunate collateral. Ah, bro. I feel for you, man. I do feel for you, bro. Well, we started with 20, we're down to 14. Not everyone caught up to the safety car before it got to the final sector, so it is another lap, unfortunately. But where does this put people now for tyre strategies? George on the 12-lap-old mediums will have to pit, because I don't think he's made a pit. No, he's not pitted yet, so he's stayed out on these mediums throughout the whole race so far. But the guys on the hards could go to the end. It would be a stretch, but they could do it. And it could be a challenge for George now. I think he may have dropped the ball not pitting under this safety car. I think he may have dropped the ball there. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Whether George is going to try and push his mediums and then jump onto the softs at the end. But he's going to find himself with no grip. That's racing, but I look forward to the rest of the stream. Hopefully clean laps ahead. Yeah, I hope so, mate. I'd rather have us racing than watching safety cars. That's for sure. Mad Mark and Kuski onto fresh softs. Carl onto fresh mediums. Ash and Danny. Ash is on fresh mediums as well. Danny Cosmic onto fresh hards. He could definitely make it to the end and have some left over. So, a mixed bag of strategies out here. Who's going to try and make it to the end? Who's going to try and push hard and do another pit stop? It's all going to be interesting. It's all going to be very interesting. We'll stay on board with George and see when he goes. As he's getting that extra bit of heat into the tyres. going slow here. Maz waiting patiently. And he's gone. The footers got down and Maz is stuck with him here. Didn't catch him out as much as he thought he would. But Thomas is right on the back of Rules here and he might get him going into turn 1. Going down the inside. Can he make it stick? Rules is not going down without a fight. And Thomas on the exit has a much better, grippier exit there than Rules. And Intrinsic gets ahead as well. What a move from the Ferrari driver. Making it stick on Rules there after battling with Thomas. And Intrinsic just says, you two can carry on battling. I'm going to come around the inside and get the move done. What a move. And Maz dropping back from George here by a second already, just after the first sector. We all knew that George's setup is more built for the first sector. But will he lose time now in the middle sector and the final sector? With a brief yellow flag there in the first sector, and I think it was Ash there getting caught up with somebody. And he is moving a little bit gingerly there. Whether he's got front wing damage, yes he is. He's missing an end play on the left side. Must have had contact with somebody in the middle. But as we can see here, he's not really pulling away from Maz, and Maz is not really gaining either, so maybe sort of similar setups between the two drivers here. We'll just disable telemetry for now. And we can leave ERS to the imagination for those of you watching at home. Do you remember the pole time? I can get that information for you shortly if you like. The pole time was a 126.204. A 126.204. That was the pole time set by George. But this is just Division 1 RPA. We've got 3 divisions here at HRA. We've got Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3. Division 2 on Wednesdays. Division 3 on Sundays. If you want to find out a little bit more, if you want to find us on social media, we've got HRA on Instagram. If you want to drop us a DM over there, we can get you an invite into the session. And we've got a safety car as well. I don't believe there was any retirements there, but what on earth has just happened? Was there damage everywhere? I don't think it was Ash. He was just been in the pit to get a new wing. So whatever happened has happened between Flexi, Mark, Carl, and LFC. But I can't... Is that damage to Cole's front wing? It is. Cole's got damage to his front wing there. I can't see any damage to Mad Mark. And a few guys have pitted here, and Cole has pitted... no, he's not pitted. He's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. We do have a Discord server, buddy. We do. I won't post it in the chat, but if you can reach out to our Instagram page, HRA League, we can drop. If you drop us a DM, we can get you a invite there. And Cole has retired in the pits. Flexi with a new wing as well, so maybe it was a collision between Flexi and Carl that caused that there. What were the races this time? So Division 1 and Division 3 are 7:30 UK 7:30 UK time, and Division 2 is an 8 PM time UK. So they're all close enough. They're all close enough. But there we have a new leader, Danny Cosmic, leading the way. I'd imagine George did pit there. Yeah, he did pit underneath that to get onto the softs. Danny could go to the end on these hard tyres. But George, Maz and Rules all on the same strategy here now on these soft tyres. Gonna try and take it to the end, but Intrinsic might have opted for the right move here by going for the mediums. These mediums will go to the end and have so much more life in them at the end as well. So, whilst the guys ahead of them are all going to be battling and draining the tyre life, Intransit could swoop in here, but he's going to be under so much pressure from the guys around him. He's in a soft tyre sandwich right now. And it could be a tough one. If he can keep the pace and match the guys ahead of him, he should have no issue. Oh, is that Danny Cosmic bolting into the pits? Yes, it is. He wants to get off these hards now, and I think he might be following suit with the others and potentially jumping onto the soft tyre. Here it is. The red ring tyre is going on, and he thinks these softs will go to the end as well. The Williams of Ash pit as well for the soft tyres, and everyone on soft tyres apart from Kusky and Intrinsic here. This will be a very close and dramatic end to this race. I was hoping that there would be more racing than watching the safety car, to be honest. But my word, I think we will have a dramatic end now. I think this is safety car number 3 here, so I think we're only limited to 2 more before the game stops bringing them out. But I think maybe the admins could have a look at this and maybe increase red flags at street tracks. Safety car is on reduced as well, remember, so I'm very surprised that we've had this many safety cars and had 0 virtuals. I think for the last incident that brought the safety car out, could have been a virtual. I don't think a full safety car was needed. No one retired. So I think it's very interesting. But George Plaster back into the lead after Danny Cosmic pitted. Will find himself under so much pressure here after you would imagine the safety car will be in now. Here we go. Race control has had their say. The safety car is coming in. Let's clear off this tyre detail and put the penalties on so we can see what is up for, what is going on. And here we go. The safety car just about to enter the pit lane. And George coming round the final corner now. Let's get the telemetry on so we can get an idea of when he's going to start bolting it. And he's going now. He's full beans. And he hasn't got the major getaway as he might have hoped. He's only half a second ahead here. But Maz was switched on to it here. But Rules even more so switched on. How are we doing going into the exit of turn 2? Hoodie getting up ahead of Thomas here, and Thomas losing out to Hoodie, but not going down without a fight. Right up behind Intrinsic here, has to back out there due to that new corner change, and has to slide in here behind Hoodie. We'll follow the Red Bull and the Ferrari driver very closely here because he's dropped down 2 places after that safety car restart. As Hoodie is going side by side with the Ferrari here now. On the charge he goes, trying to give it everything against Intrinsic here, trying to get up some positions, try and get as many points back for his constructor as possible after the bug with Apollo. But Rules doing well here to stay ahead of these guys in P3. Just losing a bit of touching distance to Maz now. Maz losing a bit of distance to George. As George starts to make the gap extend further and further. We're now up to 1.3 seconds after the restart, and we've not even completed a lap yet. Safety cars around Jeddah have always been an issue, to be honest. But with it being the new game, we tried to go for reduced safety cars, but it doesn't seem to have decreased the amount that they've come out. Everyone's battling hard. It's a season opener. Everyone's eager to try and get a good start in the season. And Ash finds himself back into the pits now. He must have got some damage there, and Thomas has tumbled down the order into P12 here. He must have got himself some damage or caught up in an incident somewhere. And Intrinsic and Hoodie have both got ahead of Rules here. Rules eaten up here, and Kusky on the prowl as well, looking to get the move done, but Intrinsic having to give the position back. He must have got an illegal overtake. Or off track, gaining an advantage here. But he's coming back at Rules here, wanting to get the position back. But Kusky getting the move done on two drivers there. Very easy and cheaply done. But he won't mind that. He'll be wanting to get ahead and catching up to P3. Maz slowly but surely keeping the same sort of distance to George here. Maybe slowly closing the gap through the final sector. Not too major. Like I said previously, I think they've got the same sort of straight line speed. But whether... Oh, I've lost my train of thought there, but we all know after watching qualifying, George, his setup is a car on rails in Sector 1. Yeah, the spectator cameras can be really nice sometimes. You're not wrong. LFC's retired into the pits. Has seen enough of this race. He doesn't think he can gain any points. But I'd encourage every driver never to give up. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. You could just be one incident away from another safety car, and then you could be right back into it. So we've not really got any close battles going on here. The nearest battle we've got after this is Ben Lane on Rules and Rules on Intrinsic here as we go on board with the Haas driver. What's happened with LFC? Could you elaborate a little bit more on that, Aaron? As we've got Flexi and Danny Cosmic getting very close here. All these guys are getting closer and closer here, but Danny Cosmic having to use a runoff there after mistiming the turn. Oh, you're not sure. Never mind. Ooh, Flexi right up the back of Mad Mark here after having a bit of a mistake on the final corner. Flexi got the DRS and the ERS here, gets the move done well before turn 1 and makes the move stick and moves himself up into another place, but the rear end of that Ferrari so unsettled. Tried to get too much power down too early there and cost him a little bit of time. And Mad Mark and Danny Cosmic all licking their lips here and thinking that Flexi could be a little bit vulnerable here, but Mark even more so with the flashing red light there on the back of his car, showing that there's lack of battery there. And we've got a yellow flag. Hoodie is out. He's retired and we've got a full safety car. Just to shake up the rest of this race here, we've got 4 laps left and we've got a full safety car here. Again, this could throw a whole spanner in the works. And I'll tell you what, this could work well for Kusky and Intrinsic. Both on 5-lap old mediums could stay out here and keep track position. Will the rest of the grid pit here, or will they all try and stay out and battle it out? It will make the last racing few laps very interesting. For an entertainment value, I would have liked to have seen a red flag there. Everyone slap on a new set of soft tyres and just absolutely give it full beans for the last 3 laps. I would have loved to have seen that. But here we go, Ben Lane into the pits. Has anyone else pitted? No, it's just Ben. Only Ben has decided to pit here. And Danny Cosmic follows, and so does Thomas. All gambling here. Nothing really to lose after being towards the back. All opting to go for the fresh soft tyre. And will want to have that advantage on the rest of the grid. Could this gamble pay off for these guys? Can they earn themselves a few more positions? It'll be certainly interesting to watch now. Ash stays out. Hopefully we can get the safety car in this lap and have ourselves 3 racing laps left. But there we have it. P1, P2, well, P1 up to P7, all on 6-lap old tyres. Them soft tyres will be struggling. Gear 5 half throttle and still can't keep going straight. It's supposed to be fine in Gear 4 full throttle. Makes sense. Sounds like Hoodie has lost his rears on the corner and just found the wall. Both Red Bulls having a day to forget here. I know it was harsh on Apollo leaving to try and fix a force feedback issue and the game retires his car, but that has put Red Bull on the back foot for the start of this season. Not ideal. Both Alfa Romeos out as well. And the safety car somehow stays out again for another lap. It's not ideal, man. Would have hopefully liked to have seen the car go in this lap and then give us 3 pure racing laps of enjoyment. But it looks like it wasn't to be, and it will be only 2 racing laps to finish off this Saudi Arabia round 1. "11 cars remain, 20 started. Just over half the grid have survived so far. 2 thrown in the towel, the rest bit the dust. But if Maz can keep his car on the podium, we'll be delighted with that. The reigning champion from season 6 will be delighted with this result after his qualifying session. He'll be hoping his teammate Thomas, new to the team, new to the league, can get himself up there. Danny Cosmic, new to the league as well. So is Kuski. These 3 guys new to the league this season. And Kuski putting on an impressive show out there today. Had a great qualifying. And is doing really well out there today. It's a shame with all the safety cars that we've had to witness today. However, these guys have got the ability to put on a good show when they want to. Safety car is in this lap. We have got 2 racing laps for these guys to put everything on the line. Where fair, they will give us a good closing end to this race. George leading the safety car again. Let's get the telemetry on so we can get an understanding of when he goes. And he goes early. He's putting his foot down. Maz is onto him this time. He knows that he likes to go early. He doesn't like to wait till too late. And Maz is in that slipstream there, going up into turn 1. He looks to the outside. Keeps the racing line. He doesn't want to try and go down the inside, but he wants to get a better exit on turn 2. Uses as much track as he dares. Flexi getting a 3-second time penalty there for corner cutting. Must have cut over the chicane there. But Intransic here, following closely to Kuski as well. Not letting him breathe. He wants a piece of this podium. And the only man stopping him from this podium is Kuski. And I think that was George running off a little bit wide there, feeling the pressure from Maz. Wait there. Has Maz dropped a few places here? Maz has dropped down to P4 here. And Intransic and Kuski have gone through there. But Maz is coming back on Intransic here. giving him, getting that place back from the Ferrari driver, and is now back on the prowl. He needs to catch back up to these Alpine drivers. Alpine sitting 1 and 2. You would imagine that Kuski will do the defending and hold back Maz to try and secure the 1-2. And we've got a bit of an issue there. Flexi has dropped down a few places here. He's spun. And Ash goes through. He'll be licking his lips at that one. And Mad Mark not too far behind as well. He must have had an issue as well. We must have missed that one. And Thomas following closely to behind of Danny Cosmic here. Gets the better exit. After Danny was stuck behind Ben Lane on the exit there. Gets the overtake on. And has a double overtake on the pit straight here. Gets himself up into P6 here. We're on to the final lap. Who is going to come out on top? We switched to the penalty dynamic here. Only P9 and P10 have penalties. But we've got an interesting battle here. Maz gets through. Kuski must have made an issue here. An error. He's dropped down to P4. And Intrinsic and Maz have slid straight back through. And Intrinsic, as it stands, will be on the podium. And Kuski getting a 3-second time penalty. Right in the dying embers of this race. And now dropping down a few places. And any chance of him getting on the podium now are out the window. Heartbreak for the Alpine driver, who's done an amazing job today. But George, as it looks, will be on the top step. If he can stop and defend against Maz, who's going to be coming at him with everything that he's got now. Every last bit of the ERS will be deployed. He doesn't have to worry about DRS. Both drivers got no ERS to use now. And I think that is safe to say this round one will go to George and the Alpine. As we look further down the grid, Thomas did get ahead of Rules as well. And he gets himself up into P5. But here is your race winner. George Plaster wins round one in Saudi Arabia. Followed by Maz in P2, Intrinsic P3. Thomas bringing it home into P4 after Kuski's time penalty. Rules P5, Kuski P6, Ben Lane P7, Danny P8, Ash P9, Flexi P10, and Mad Mark coming in the last finishing place of P11. What a dramatic end to this race. 20 started and only 11 finish. Mad Mark going straight into the pits. Does not want to do a celebration lap or parade lap. Wants to get straight to his pit box. But Ben Lane is your driver of the day. What a session there for round one in Division 1 in Season 7. George Plaster is your winner. Maz P2, Intrinsic P3. That is your podium for this evening. Apart from the safety cars, there were some good overtakes, some good defending at parts. And I'm sure there might be a few clips as well to go into the steward room. Reports of blocking in qualifying and a few wing breaks during the race as well. We could see a chop and change to this order at some point, but we will get a picture of the finishing order just in case. But what a race there we had. I've been your host for this evening. We've had somebody interested in joining the league today, and if you are interested, please do drop us a message wherever you're watching this. This will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards as well. We're streamed here on Wednesday nights, Friday nights and Sundays at 7:30 and 8 PM. And if you are watching this replay back, please drop us a message on our Instagram and we'll get you involved in this league. What a race out there today. GG's to George. What a stellar race. Gets it on pole in qualifying and wins the round 1 race. Next week, we're at Zandvoort. A very tough track to overtake on. So it'll all be down to strategy and who can slap it on pole. That may come out on top there. But until Sunday, guys, for Division 3, I hope you all have a good evening and a good weekend. Have a great day, though. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy your evening.